Hello, this is Brian Graham with another COVID-19 occupational therapy lesson. This one's all about, we call it power grasp. That's different from another kind of grasp, which I'll get into later in a later video. But power grasp is basically, at its most simple level, making a fist. Okay? Making a fist to hold heavy objects. Again, later on I'll talk about like kind of more fine motor pinches to hold like pencils and stuff later. Okay, this video is all about getting like hand strength. Okay, again, so just a real basic lesson here. I have a physical therapy book here. um, you know, your hand actually includes your wrist too. Like your wrist can go up and down. Your wrist can also go palm up, palm down. Okay, you can go back and forth too, but not as much. Okay, so keep that in mind. When we talk about hand strength, we're actually talking about wrist strength. Like a lot of the kind of power grasp hand muscles are up here. Like these are actually hand muscles. They control my hand. They're connected to my fingers through really long tendons. So keep that in mind. Okay, I'm going to talk about the palm up position versus the palm down position because it is important for holding heavy objects, which is what power grasp is for. And I'm going to use the word power grasp just to that's what we call it, like therapists call it. I think it's important to use good terminology. So just some basics here. You know, use power grasp to hold heavy objects. I have a few heavy objects here. These are some textbooks. Okay. When you're not actually holding the object, you're pushing or pulling it. So I'm pushing this along the floor. I'm pulling it along the floor. Most of the weight is held by the floor itself, not my hand. So this is easier than actually picking it up. So this is what I consider like holding an object. This is the palm up hold position. So your hand makes this kind of, from an open hand to a closed hand, it goes through different phases. Okay, it goes through this kind of like U-shaped phase where these 4 fingers on this side of my hand, my thumb is on this side of the hand. Okay, when I pick it up with my palm, 4 fingers are underneath, the thumb's on top, mainly to hold it in place. Okay, the majority of the work is done by these 4 fingers. Okay, this is the palm up position. This is the palm down position. Don't worry, there's a point to all this. I'm getting to it. This is the palm down position. This is actually harder for me to hold this textbook. This is like a 1,200 page textbook or something. Why is that? It's because my thumb itself, yes, your thumb is the strongest finger on your hand. However, it's only one finger. You know, because of how gravity works, my thumb is not adequately able to handle the weight of this. Okay. So why does that matter? What does that translate into? If I'm going to pick up this chair, I would have used a bigger chair, but I have my iPad. I don't have like a camera, so it wouldn't fit in the shot if I tried to get a bigger camera. I'm going to try to pick up this chair here. There's 2 ways I could do it. I could either do it like the thumbs down position, thumb up position. It's going to be harder for me to hold it with the my hand down position. It's going to be easier with the hands up position, palm up position. Okay. So the point of all this is when your kid is trying to grab something heavy, try to have them use like basically, most people think of this as a bicep curl, right? You have a bicep and you have a weight in your hand. Try to have them hold it with both hands down. You know, obviously I just said both hands. A lot of the kids try to hold things with one hand when they really should be using 2 hands. So this is like a regular box. Okay, I could either try to hold it from the top, which is, again, that's the palm down position, versus the palm up position. This is a lot easier for them. When they do pick it up, I'm probably going to bring it to their body, like so. Just because, like, the closer something is to their chest, the easier they have controlling it. Okay. If these sounds like, you know, things that are, like, not, you know, rocket science or not, I just like to explain these so you can teach it better. And also just because we're adults and we're, you know, just because we're adults, we're bigger than them. Just, you know, we're stronger than them because they're kids and we're adults. We don't necessarily think about these things, but, you know, it's almost like you have to shrink yourself in half dealing with kids or however smaller your kid is than you. And I kind of think of things from their perspective. Another thing to keep in mind is, like, this is like just a stick I had. Whenever they hold something, they want to have as little air as possible, meaning there's no gap here. Like when I'm holding the stick, no matter what angle it is, there's no gap. If I'm holding it like this, there's going to be a gap. It's going to be harder to control. You know, or if I'm holding it like this, there's a gap there. I'm only using 2 fingers. 2 fingers is less strong than 5 fingers. So however they end up holding it. The reason I say that is, if I was going to try to pick up this box here, if I'm holding it this way, you know, there's a lot of air here. See how much air there is? I'm using my fingertips. If I try to hold this way, or like I said before, this way, there's no air here. So this one, see, there's no air. There's air here, no air. Okay. So that translates into different things. Like if I'm trying to pick up this chair here, I'm trying to pick it up like this. This is my fingertips only. This is my entire hand. Way stronger this way. So if your kid is trying to pick up something heavy, like just make sure that they have full contact or no air. You know, if this is like a bag, you know, you want to make sure, even like if they have a handle like this is a tight grip. They're not going to drop this. This is a loose grip. They're going to drop it, okay? And again, like, they should hold it, like, not this way. This is the palm down position. They have a lot more power this way. You know, that's natural kind of functional ways to strengthen your hands, or your kids' hands. Do they have, like, a stress ball or something? If they want to grab it, that's fine. Like, if they're watching TV or something and you want them to, like, not totally waste their time, you know, just have them squeeze a squeeze ball a few times. You know, that's probably better than just watching TV and not doing anything. We sometimes talk about we call it heavy work. You do heavy work for any number of reasons. I mean, if your kid has some sensory needs, heavy work might be nice. But for the purpose of this video, like, my last job was working with, like, adults with rotator cuff problems and stuff. And they'd ask me, how do you get stronger? It's like, well, you have to strengthen, you know. So that means you do, you know, have your kids move as heavy things as they can. So if they're, like, coming in from the grocery store, you know, you might not want to take them to the grocery store because of the virus, but, you know, when you get home or something, they can help you unload the trunk, the car. You might not want to give them breakable objects, obviously, but, you know, if they have, like, a bag full of, you know, something, like a bag of rice or something, that it's not going to be the end of the world if they drop it, have them do that. You know, have them put things away, have them stack things, like, you know, when they get home from the store or something, using all the things I talked about before, like have them pick up something heavy, put it on something else. You know, those are more functional tasks. Like, we don't expect your kids to be like weightlifters or, you know, do crazy strengthening routines. They're kids, but just doing as many things as possible will help their strength, hand strength.